We all thought Gear 5 was Luffy's peak, but what if I told you we were all looking in the wrong direction? We saw the arrival of Gear 5, and it was insane. Luffy became a living cartoon and defeated a Yonko. But what if that wasn't his final form? What if that was just the start of something so dangerous it could destroy everything? Forget Gear 6. The theory we are about to break down is that Luffy's final form isn't a power-up. It's a disaster that could make our favorite captain the most dangerous person on the planet. For years, Luffy's powers followed a simple pattern. Gear 2 for speed, Gear 3 for a giant punch, Gear 4 for everything else. So naturally, everyone on Earth expects Gear 6 is next, but that's missing the biggest plot twist of all. Gear 5 isn't just another number in the sequence, it's something entirely different. It's the awakening of his devil fruit, the mythical Zoan, model Nika. Oda himself said this power is limited only by the user's imagination. Luffy can do virtually anything. He can turn the ground to rubber, run on air, and punch an entire island. He is the warrior of liberation. With a power that is literally limitless, what could Gear 6 possibly add? Make him bouncier? From a storytelling perspective, it makes no sense. And remember, this is Eiichiro Oda we're talking about. The man plans everything. He revealed Luffy's fruit isn't just rubber, it's a living god with its own will. That changes the entire story. Kaido even said that a Zoan awakening happens when the user's mind and body become one with the fruit. Luffy himself screamed that Gear 5 is his peak. When the main character tells you he's hit his absolute limit, you should probably believe him. But what if his peak is actually him standing on the edge of a cliff? The problem isn't that Luffy needs more power. The problem is he might already have too much, and we were all so distracted by the cartoonish fight that we missed the incredible danger. In Gear 5, it's not just his body that goes wild. His personality completely changes. His classic laugh is gone, replaced by a wild one. We all saw how it nearly killed him and aged him, but we completely ignored the scariest part. The real problem with Gear 5 is that it might not be Luffy's power at all. He's just borrowing it, and you always have to pay back a debt to a god. So this is where the theory gets absolutely crazy. Luffy's final form isn't him learning a new attack. It's him losing control completely. It's the moment Monkey D. Luffy is gone, and Nika, the sun god, takes over his body. This is not a power-up. It is a hostile takeover, and Oda has been dropping hints about this for years. Think about how awakened zones work. There is a huge risk. In chapter 1069, it was explained that awakened zone users can literally have their personalities consumed by their fruit. Remember the jailer beasts from Impel Down? They were once people, but now they are just mindless animals. And if you think that's just for failures, Oda himself confirmed in an SBS for volume 111 that this is a risk for everyone. He wrote a personal warning to Rob Lucci, saying, "Lucci, you're at risk," proving that even for the strongest fighters, the beast inside is a massive threat. Now, apply that same logic to Luffy. The Impel Down guards were taken over by normal animal fruits. Rob Lucci is in danger from a leopard. Luffy ate a literal god. A god so powerful, the world government spent 800 years trying to erase it from history. The willpower of the Nika fruit must be unbelievable. Every single time Luffy goes into Gear 5, he is opening the door for this god to take over his mind. Luffy's willpower is insane, but is it stronger than a god's? And Oda is literally telling us that he sees Luffy and Nika as two different beings in one body. Right now, Luffy is in charge, but for how much longer? This has happened in other anime. Naruto had to fight the Nine Tails. Ichigo had to fight his inner hollow. The hero's greatest power is also their biggest weakness. Oda has even done this in One Piece with Cavendish and his evil side, Hakuba. The blueprint is there. Luffy is just doing it on a god-level scale. He isn't fighting a demon. He's fighting a god for control of his own body. And what happens when he gets so desperate to win that the only move left is to let go? So what could possibly be the trigger? What event could be so massive that it breaks the will of Monkey D. Luffy? It would have to be the final war. Picture this. The final, insane war for the world is happening. The Straw Hat Grand Fleet against the entire world government, the Seraphim, and the Five Elders. And at the center of it all, Luffy is fighting Imu, a being with terrifying, unknown power. But what if, in the biggest fight of his life, Gear 5 isn't enough? Luffy is defeated, he's broken, he's about to lose everything he's ever fought for. His friends, his dream, it's all about to be destroyed. In that last, desperate moment, he stops fighting back. He stops trying to control Nika's power and just unleashes it. He surrenders his mind and body to the sun god. In a massive flash of light, our Luffy is gone, and in his place is Nika. And it's a total victory. Nika, with full control, has infinite power. Imu gets destroyed. The world government is gone. The world is liberated. But nobody is celebrating. Because the thing floating in the sky doesn't have Luffy's friendly smile. Its smile is terrifying, and it starts to remake the world with the crazy, chaotic whims of a god. Luffy saved the world, but he had to sacrifice himself to do it. And that is when the true final battle of One Piece begins. The Straw Hats won the war, but they lost their captain. Their final adventure isn't for the One Piece, it is to save Monkey D. Luffy from the god inside him. This is the crew's final, impossible challenge. Zoro, his first mate, would know something is wrong immediately. His loyalty would make him draw his swords, ready to kill a god to get his captain back. Sanji would do the opposite. He would refuse to fight, screaming that Luffy is still in there. He'd spend all his time cooking the greatest meal in history, believing the taste could bring the real Luffy back. Nami, the heart of the crew, would be the one just pleading with him. Her cries for her captain might be the one thing to make the god pause, causing a flicker of Luffy's old self to appear. Usopp would be completely terrified, but he would stand his ground, just like he did for the Going Merry. He'd tell stories not to fight, but to remind Nika of the dreamer still trapped inside the god. Chopper's job is heartbreaking. As a doctor and a fellow Zoan user who knows the terror of his own monster point, he would understand the horror of losing control. He would be desperately trying to find a medical cure for a spiritual takeover. Robin, who was saved by Luffy, would become the key. She would read every book from the Void Century, looking for a lost secret about Nika and Joy Boy, an instruction manual on how to exorcise a god from your captain. Frankie would try to build a super solution, a machine to contain Nika, or a crazy frequency to break its control. His goal would be to fix his broken captain. Brook, the Soul King, would use his soul music. He'd play Binks' sake, trying to use his own soul power to reach Luffy's soul. And Jinbei, the helmsman, would be the Rock, holding the crew's insane plans together, ready to give his life to bring the real Luffy back. This would be their greatest battle, fought not for treasure, but for the soul of one man. It would be an insane climax that proves they are the greatest crew in history. So I have to ask you, who among them do you think would be the one to finally break through and save him? Would it be Zoro's blades, Sanji's cooking, or Nami's tears? Let me know your theories in the comments right now.